Thank you for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Brian Moore, and let's get right to your top 11 stories at 11. Boise police are searching for a bank robber. He had on a yellow jacket and bandana, a baseball cap along with sunglasses. Now, it happened at the Key Bank in the 1100 block of Broadway shortly after 9 o'clock this morning. Tellers told police on scene the man did have a gun. He left on foot. If you recognize him, you are asked to call police right away, and you should not approach him. Ada County commissioners gave the nod to a new 911 dispatch center. The $9.7 million facility will be built in Meridian on Pine near Locust Grove. The county has a paramedic station on site, and the mosquito abatement offices are there as well. Now, in a few minutes, find out why the county says it's needed and how much taxes will go up for the typical homeowner. And early this morning, Idaho State Police say the driver of a semi lost control of his rig on I-84. Happened just before 1 o'clock between the north side and Franklin exits in Nampa. State police say the driver, 52-year-old Michael Willard of North Carolina, and his passenger, 58-year-old Randy Deans, also of North Carolina, were taken to St. Alphonsus. The extent of their injuries is not known. And there are evacuations at Montana's Glacier National Park. A wildfire along the east side of the park has grown to about 1,000 acres. It was first reported yesterday afternoon and was moving quickly in heavy timber with the potential to spread over a wide area. Park rangers were searching the back country to rescue any hikers, and campgrounds were evacuated.
Oh my goodness. So we're at the top of Logan Pass. We could see flames shooting straight up into the air. And from that distance, that means it was quite a significant fire.
At this point, there is a flight restriction over that fire. No word yet what may have caused it. Idaho State Police say a Washington man died Tuesday evening in a single vehicle crash on westbound I-84 about 8 miles east of Boise. Troopers say a 16-year-old was behind the wheel. She hit the guardrail, rolling that vehicle down an embankment. Passenger 64-year-old Kenneth Powers of Yakima died at the scene. 4 others, a woman and 3 kids, were taken to the hospital. No word on their conditions. A sheriff's deputy and 2 police officers rushed in to save a Polk County, Oregon deputy trapped when his car caught fire after a collision. Now, this is dash cam video from that crash. The deputy was responding to a call for backup. That's when someone crashed into his car, sending it into a ditch. It caught fire, and he could not get out on his own.
Go in a lot of accidents and see a lot of people in similar situations, and I would have done the same thing for anybody else. The emotion level, though, isn't the same, you know, as far as when you see somebody that you consider family.
The deputy and 2 officers likely saved that deputy's life. He suffered a broken arm and shoulder. No charges have been filed at this point. Recent comments by Donald Trump are stirring up a conversation about politics right here in Idaho. Some voters say the billionaire is damaging his chances, but others say he's being brutally honest. In the past 2 weeks, Trump has fired off several controversial remarks, and one local political expert says the billionaire has the ammo to keep going.
A normal candidate says this, and their campaign's over. I mean, they're gonna pull back. They're gonna get criticized. Their funding may dry up. All those sorts of things. But because it's Trump, with his wealth, he can finance his own campaign, and so he's not dependent on fundraising.
And Freeman says it's too early to know if Trump's campaign will hurt the Republican Party. KBOI reached out to the GOP party here in Idaho. Leaders told us no comment. We'll have more on Trump in a few moments. An amazing story for you this morning out of Oregon. A Coast Guard member risked his own life to save 4 stranded fishermen. And he did it by swimming to them and escorting them back to shore one by one. The weather was too rough for the Coast Guard chopper to hover above.
No one was hurt, no one was injured. It was actually a very ideal situation. All the guys were ready to go. They were cold, they were wet. They just wanted out. So I calmed them down, talked to them a little bit, and then asked them which one wanted to go first.
It was dark during that rescue, which is why it's hard to see all the action. Harity swam more than 1,700 yards in all. And the Pentagon says a dangerous Qaeda leader and close associate of Osama bin Laden was killed in a U.S. airstrike in Syria. His name is Mushin al-Fahadli. Military officials say he was killed traveling in northern Syria earlier this month. There is video of it showing the fiery aftermath of that blast. The Qaeda leader had a $7 million bounty out on him. The U.S. has been tracking him for more than a decade. And when you drive around Boise today, you'll notice U.S. flags are flying at half-staff. It's to honor the servicemen killed in Tennessee last week. Governor Rotter says his order applies to all public buildings in the state, and the flags will remain in their lowered position until dusk. U.S. home sales surged in June to the fastest pace in 8+ years. Prices are now pushing record highs. Sales of existing homes climbed to $5.49 million. That's the highest rate since February of 2007. Sales have jumped 9.6% over the past 12 months. Median home prices are rising as well. They're up 6.5% over the past year.